Good evening once again. It's a pleasure to have you join us here on Rwanda Television News. My name is Gloria Mutisi.
And I am Jane Mutoni.
Hi Jen, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Gloria?
I'm fine, thank you. How is your week going so far?
I'm no longer saying I think now, this time around.
This time you're sure?
Yes.
Oh, it's great to know you're doing fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's start off tonight's bulletin by telling you that more than 2,000 inmates were vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus on Tuesday in Rwanda prison. Those vaccinated testify that this is a testament to the value that the government of Rwanda attaches to all its citizens. Fiona Mbabazi starts us off tonight with this story.
At the age of 73, Muchanda Vital Chivumbi, one of the inmates of Nyarugenge prison, was vaccinated against COVID-19. After the vaccination, Chivumbi said that the vaccine given to him had restored his life expectancy. In addition to his old age, he is also already suffering from incurable disease.
It makes me feel that I exist and that I have a future, but all this thanks to good leadership, thanks to the President of the Republic. And you journalists, have you ever seen these things where the President of the Republic thinks of the prisoners and says that these are also my children, except this unique parent? Indeed, the chosen ones who are more courageous. So now I really appreciate him because I don't understand it. I lived when I was younger and there are some good things I've seen, but this is too much.
Gasana Constante got and recovered from COVID-19 and has been diagnosed with incurable disease. He says that the Rwandan government has shown that they care for all its citizens regardless of where they are.
I got vaccinated and I am happy because I am among the people who caught the virus, and I was treated and recovered in a short time through the help of RCS and of course our government. We are grateful because we are inmates, because we collided with the law, but we have been valued enough to be vaccinated. I know we are among the first ones on the continent.
This shows that we are valued and that our government does not segregate and give preference to some, that we are also still part of the society. We are grateful. Visitations for inmates have remained suspended in efforts to curb the spread of the virus. RCS Commissioner General George Rwigamba says that the vaccine has come as a solution for this and other matters affecting the health of the inmates, and that's why many have chosen to be vaccinated.
In prison, social distancing is impossible to implement with so many people in such close proximity. To this day, we are fortunate that we did not have many infected inmates, but the fact that there is now a vaccination campaign that continues to reach out to all will help us. We had no problem because these people you see here have the same information you have. They have televisions in prison, they have radios, and they learned about the COVID-19 vaccination campaign when it started. They have all this information, so we told them we were protecting them and they responded, and you see that everyone wants the vaccine.
The primary focus has remained on the 60-year-old and above, as well as other people with chronic diseases. 2,300 inmates have been vaccinated at the Nyarugenge prison, and the RCS says the operation will continue in other prisons as well, where between 12,000 and 20,000 people will be vaccinated.
Thank you, Fiona, for that story. Now, on Tuesday, more than 1,600 taxi motorcyclists, 300 District Administration Security Support Organ personnel, also known as DASO, and about 200 bicycle operators received their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Now, Gabi Muvunyi has more on that report.
It is the wee hours of Tuesday morning in Kigali as passengers go on their daily commutes around the city. Motorcycles are the most common mode of transport in Kigali. It is the 5th day of the vaccination process in Rwanda. On this day, motorcycle riders, members of the District Administration Security Support Organ personnel, known as DASO, as well as bicycle operators, have been selected to receive the first dose of the vaccine. The recipients say the vaccine is going to help increase their immune system and reduce the spread of the coronavirus, especially because of the nature of their work. They thank the Rwandan government for including them as part of the frontliners.
On a daily basis, I take around 20 people a day. We interact with many people on a daily basis, so I feel that we should be vaccinated as soon as possible. We thank the government for considering us as part of the first people to get vaccinated. First of all, we would like to thank the Rwandan government for considering us for the vaccination out of the security agencies. On behalf of DASO, we are thankful.
There are currently about 46,000 taxi motorcyclists in Rwanda and 26,000 of them in Kigali. Out of this number, a selected few have been vaccinated. The president of Federation of Motorcycle Cooperatives, Daniel Ngarambe, appreciates this action and urges those who have not been vaccinated to be patient.
It is with much gratitude that I thank our leaders for the vaccine. We are asking for those that have not been vaccinated to be patient because we shall all be vaccinated. And for those who have been vaccinated, they should still adhere to the COVID-19 guidelines.
Director General of Rwanda Biomedical Center, Dr. Sabine Sazimana, says the reason for the selected group is because this group of people are constantly interacting and around people, given that their lives are at a constant risk for contracting COVID-19. He says as more vaccines become available, more people will be vaccinated.
For those that work for DASO in Kigali, we have been working together since the beginning of the pandemic to implement the COVID-19 measures issued by the authorities, which is why today this category has been vaccinated against COVID-19. Motorcycle and bicycle riders are another category of people that was selected to receive the vaccine. Those that have not been vaccinated will receive theirs soon. As we receive more doses of the vaccine, we will increase the numbers and categories of people being vaccinated.
On Tuesday, 1,666 taxi motorcyclists received their first dose of the vaccine, 300 DASO personnel and 200 bicycle operators. RBC says it intends to vaccinate at least 60% of the population by next year. There is hope with this vaccine that life will return to normal, which is why people are eager to get vaccinated. The most vulnerable to the virus are the ones being given priority. Gabi Muvunyi for RTV.
Well, I think that's quite a progress. And now that COVID-19 vaccines have extended to public transporters.
Certainly, and also it makes sense because then they meet with various people across the country, and hopefully it will cut down on the rate of transmissions and infections.
Yeah.
Well, moving on, still this Tuesday, the virtual sitting of the Chamber of Deputies voted the law establishing the Rwanda Space Agency. The country's vision for a national space program is to act as a catalyst for the development of the space economy in Rwanda, satisfying national security demand using space technologies and ensuring international credibility in the space arena. Serge Nore has more.
10 months ago, a cabinet meeting approved the draft law establishing the agency, and parliamentarians have now voted in favor of its establishment as well.
Rwanda is among very few countries that managed to register the land, and that was achieved thanks to space technologies using satellite images. But all these things were scattered, efforts were scattered, and really I believe this agency is coming to really connect all those efforts, make sure that we accelerate the development of the sector, but also we not only we connect existing efforts, but also we contribute to develop the space sector that is really, I would say, that is a world class, because we still really we still have some gaps. We still have a long way to go when it comes to space technologies. So I believe that really the established Rwanda Space Agency is coming really to help in that regard. And again, people sometimes when they think about the space, they think it is just something fancy to come and launch satellite and so on. But the main objective of doing space is also to contribute to social economic development, because space by itself is meaningless if it doesn't really contribute to the development of the country. So I can say we have a number of challenges today that we believe will be addressed by the establishment of this agency.
Among its responsibilities, the Rwanda Space Agency will be required to provide geospatial services for development activities in various domains such as agriculture, urban planning, emergency response, and weather forecasts. The need to create a centralized agency to coordinate the use of such technology in diverse sectors has now become apparent.
We do have projects that are really working on the space sector. As you know, Rwanda is among very few countries that managed to register the land, and that was achieved thanks to space technologies using satellite images. But all these things were scattered, efforts were scattered, and really I believe this agency is coming to really connect all those efforts, make sure that we accelerate the development of the sector, but also we not only we connect existing efforts, but also we contribute to develop the space sector that is really, I would say, that is a world class, because we still really we still have some gaps. We still have a long way to go when it comes to space technologies. So I believe that really the established Rwanda Space Agency is coming really to help.
The law encompasses 24 articles that were first reviewed by the Committee on Education, Technology, Culture and Youth in the Chamber of Deputies.
Thank you, Serge, for the report. Now, pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers wish for there to be a COVID-19 vaccination that can be considered safe for them too. Now, the Rwanda Biomedical Center says that the women in this category are not currently eligible to be vaccinated against COVID-19 because there is no research yet that shows the effects of the vaccine on pregnant or breastfeeding mothers.
Mukamana Genevieve is a teacher at Kagugu School Complex in Gasabo District who we found teaching on Tuesday morning in a class of about 113 students. She and 3 other colleagues of hers from this school were not vaccinated against COVID-19 because they are pregnant. They say that due to the nature of their work, they are more at risk of getting infected with COVID-19. I didn't get the vaccine because I'm pregnant. I read the guidelines that were given that pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers are not eligible. My concern though is that every day I meet so many children from across and you can't know how exposed they've been. We had hoped the vaccine would help us because if I were to get infected, I might have trouble breathing, and most times pregnant people become weaker than usual. At the Kagugu Health Center, breastfeeding mothers that had brought their infants for regular vaccinations and pregnant mothers that have come for antenatal care say they have concerns about getting the virus. I'm always afraid because of the statistics I hear of infected people and those that have succumbed to the virus. I'm always concerned that when I get infected, I could give it to my child. Dr. Sabayan Sanzimana, the Director General of the Rwanda Biomedical Center, says that although getting vaccinated is important, there are categories that are not allowed to get the vaccine yet.
The research that has been conducted so far does not include pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers, because they hadn't established how the vaccine would be working at that time. And that's why those categories are currently not eligible, unless these people have a reason as to why they are at a high risk of getting infected. For instance, if they have non-communicable diseases, only then would doctors consult with others about vaccinating them.
There are also pregnant women that say they wish that research be conducted about vaccines that can be given to women in these categories. We ask that the health authorities conduct research about people like us and see if there's a way we could get vaccines safe for us too, so that our life is not put at risk because of the nature of our work. The Ministry of Health says that apart from such people considered to be exceptions, all people above the age of 18 are eligible for vaccination. Now away from vaccinations, Rwanda Environment Management Authority is urging construction companies and other regular builders to avoid dumping construction waste materials in wetlands in order to protect the environment. Those caught doing so will be fined and then required to move the materials. Umgari Jade has more.
This is the location of a clay tile factory located in Muhanga's district's special economic zone. This will be the first factory to make ceramic tiles from clay in Rwanda. Mountain Ceramics will be the main manufacturer of the tiles. They say the first batch of tiles will reach the market by next year. It will be sold at a much lower price since it is processed nearby. Soil removed from the construction site was dumped in the Nyirangari marshland in Nyamabuye sector. Residents of the area say it disrupted their daily activities.
For us that have fields, this has affected us a lot. We used to plant maize and sweet potatoes, but now we cannot, which prevents us from feeding our families. The great landmass has stopped cars from moving through, and even people have a hard time getting around too.
The clay required to make the tiles will be excavated from the marshland. This crushed land is specific to large areas and has begun to erase some of the usual activities, such as ponds. Some people say they have not been compensated for the crops that are said to be eligible for compensation. They consider this a significant loss. The law stipulates that all development activities must comply with environmental regulations. Kaitachira Emable, a construction worker at Mountain Ceramic, insists that the clay was placed in a swamp to prepare it for use.
There is exploitation in clay. We are putting the soil there as a way to conserve the environment.
Rwanda Environment Management Authority, REMA, says the company mined clay from the site without permission, which led to a fine of up to 5 million Rwanda francs.
As for that soil that was put in that marshland, discussions are focusing on preserving it where it is, but only what will be required to make the tiles. He must be specific about how much he intends to extract from the marshland itself, and that soil will be used as backfill. Any excess, he must remove it and take it up into the hills.
The Rwanda Environment Management Authority says there are people in the area disposing of soil-like material from demolished homes into the swamp. Anyone found disposing of any material into the swamp is to be fined between 500,000 and 5 million Rwanda francs, depending on the seriousness of the offense. Umgari Jade, RTV News.
Thank you, Umari. Now, Cogebanque has concluded a 3-month campaign called Biroroshye na Cogebanque MasterCard that saw some participants presented prizes. Murerwa Fabiola, who was found in one of the shops in Kigali, says since 2019 she has been shopping and paying with the Cogebanque's MasterCard. She says using the card has helped a lot in terms of security for her money. On a daily basis, I use a MasterCard to shop and especially online. When banks are closed, this card simplifies everything for me. My advice to all Rwandans is to use it while paying. More than 500 people who had been participating in the Cogebanque MasterCard campaign called Biroroshye na Cogebanque MasterCard for the last 3 months have been presented with prizes. According to Nkurikiyeyezu Pio, who was among the participants, says the card made it easier for him to import goods from abroad. It has helped me to purchase things, whether here in Rwanda or from abroad. Using this card is also a great way to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. The head of marketing and product development at Cogebanque, Antoinette Iyamuremye, says the purpose of the campaign was to promote the digital payment method. We want all Cogebanque customers to use this card technologically because it is reliable. It is also in line with the government's ambitious target of going digital in all transactions carried out in the country within the broader perspective of money security. According to Cogebanque, over 60% of its customers use its MasterCard. Among the prizes presented to those that use the MasterCard for purchases the most were fridges, laptops and phones. Now that's it for tonight. That's all we had for you, and thank you for joining us while keeping in mind to adhere to the COVID-19 preventive measures, because no one is safe until we are all.
Otherwise, God bless you and keep you. Until next time, I'm Gloria Mutesi.
And I'm Jane Mutoni.
Bye for now. Enjoy the rest of the programming.